Good day, thank you for lending an ear to the Voice of the Times for Wednesday, November 17, 2021. For today's editorial, DILG must set an example in gun and school incident. The long-awaited return of in-person classes in public schools on Monday was, by all accounts, largely successful. However, the event was unnecessarily marred by the dangerously irresponsible behavior of some police officers and an as yet unnamed local official in so execrable a fashion that the Department of Interior and Local Government, or DILG, must be compelled to take exemplary action. An image credited to a photographer from ABS-CBN News of a fatigue-clad police officer armed with an assault rifle supposedly checking health protocols inside an elementary school classroom quickly made the rounds of social media on Monday afternoon and instantly sparked public outrage, as it should have. The school was identified as the Longos Elementary School in Alaminos City, Pangasinan, and according to an official statement from the Department of Education, or DepEd, that was issued shortly after the photo was published, the officer, who some netizens noted was himself violating health protocols by not wearing a face shield and wearing his face mask incorrectly, was part of the security detail of an LGU, or local government unit official, who visited the school. To its credit, DepEd responded as appropriately as it could to the shameful incident. Its statement read, in part, "To prevent similar incidents in the future, we are reminding our field officials and school heads to strictly enforce our national policy framework on learners and schools as zones of peace, or the Department Order Number 32 S 2019. While the implication of the DepEd statement is that the local school officials did not properly follow the above policy and keep the armed security detail out of the school premises, we can appreciate that they were placed in a difficult position and may not have felt bold enough to tell combat-ready troops carrying loaded weapons where they could and could not go. Rather, we place the blame for this unforgivable behavior squarely on the shoulders of the pompous LGU official who brought the armed detail to the school, and the Philippine National Police, or PNP, officials who not only allowed it, but obviously have not trained their personnel to conduct themselves in a safe and professional manner. School children, particularly young students, it was reported it was a first-grade classroom, but we have not been able to verify that, have already had to endure the confusing uncertainty of the pandemic and its associated restrictions, nearly 2 years without the familiar environment of their schools. Furthermore, even though some of them can now return to their classes, the experience is not what it was, given the health protocols that must be observed. Having armed police invade the classroom simply adds additional trauma to the already substantial stress and confusion these innocent children are coping with, and there is absolutely no excuse for it. Low-level government officials using local police as private goon squads has become something of a dubious tradition here in the Philippines, particularly during election season, and if ever there was an exemplary incident for the DILG and PNP to put a stop to abusive practices, this is it. The official involved here felt he was qualified to inspect the school for its compliance with health protocols. He should have already been sufficiently well-versed in the policy prohibiting his security detail from entering the premises. Claiming ignorance of the DepEd rules is not an excuse. It is an admission of the dereliction of duty. We call on the DILG and the PNP to immediately investigate the incident and make an example of those involved with the maximum penalties that existing laws and regulations allow. No child should be put in fear by government officers for any reason, especially not in the safe space of school classroom, and especially not for the purpose of some officials' vain display of self-importance. For more news and information, read the Manila Times on print, subscribe to its digital edition, or log on to www.manilatimes.net. Follow us on Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram, and listen to the Voice of the Times.